Welcome to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. And welcome to the focus of this channel, which is no more Jim Crow. We are not going back. No matter what they say, no matter how many laws they change, we're not going back. And anyone that thinks that we should are the problem. Okay, but we're not taking that. We're not going back. It is better that we all live in peace together and get along and be treated equal, treat each other equal, treat each other with kindness. And, wherever it is that we live will be such a beautiful, peaceful, better place to live. If we think like that and, strive for that, insist on that. And, regardless of what they're doing in government or wherever else, the individual people are what makes the country and what makes a place and the environment, the region. We control that. Regardless of what they're saying, you as an individual are to treat your neighbor, the people around you, and wherever, within your country with this equality and kindness. And if we all pitch into that, boy, I know that some people don't believe that could ever happen, but it can. And the reason that I know it, because there's a country in Africa, I don't remember how long ago, but it's been some decades ago or whatever. And they won souls, and over in Europe, they won souls. So many, come into a town, revival break out, to the point that all of the bars, pubs, juke joints, and whatever they're called in that particular region shut down. Because there was people, they stopped drinking, gambling, smoking, and, whatever. To the point, and I've said it many, many times, that they would have, back in the time in Europe when they had this revival, I don't remember if it was the Welsh revival, maybe that was it, but they had to go retrain the mules and the animals because they weren't used to being talked to with normal orders without the cussing and profanity and yelling at them and threatening them and beating them. They didn't know how to respond. So that shows you we can do it. We're human beings, my goodness. Made and created by God. His breath blown into us. We have the capacity to be kind to one another. We can do it. You don't have to put yourself in danger with anyone that doesn't want your kindness. You don't have to over push it or sell it to the point, that you're bringing, wild people into your home or something. But just, decency, kindness, wherever we are, everybody's welcome. Everyone's treated the same. When we go to your restaurant, our food is not spit in or whatever you decide to do evil to. Because we're held accountable for what we do in this earth. Don't forget that. People, please don't forget that. So anyway, I wasn't even planning on going that way, saying all that. But this is all entertainment purposes, ministry purposes, my First Amendment right to do this. Now, this channel, we do everything. Whatever the Holy Spirit's leading me to do, if I pop up and say, well, I'm going to do this or that, and the Holy Spirit says no, and he leads me in another direction, this is the direction we're going. Just like now, what I just said, But I have some things that I purchased from Amazon. They're the easiest to return, all of that, Even though I, have a Amazon driver and a UPS driver that, tears into my packages and different things like that, and I've reported it and I'm going to continue to report it, but, it kind of checked up a little bit where they weren't just completely opening up the packages. And it's a racial thing, but can't put no damper on my parade. Okay, see, because God don't play about me, as the AI little kid sings, and the song goes. So anyway, I brought some things out. I just ordered some different items, and I wanted to show them to you in case, you know, it might help someone. First of all, this is one thing I've had this for probably 2 months, maybe. It's one of those you know, over the body bags, and I haven't adjusted it, but I'm just giving you an idea of what it looks like. And there you go. It's a lot of, it's by 1, 2, 3, 4 different compartments. 5 with a zipper thing on the inside. And there's nothing on the back. But there you go. So there's a zipper for it's a pocket in there. And it's nice and deep. It's as deep as this is. And then, you know, that zips up. Now the zippers, they don't look all that strong. So you know, this was very reasonable. I think I got it on Amazon haul or something. It just kind of popped up and I didn't even know anything about it. And so then you have this other compartment, and it's just a plain compartment that goes all the way down to the bottom as well. And it zips up. Okay, there you go, right there. And it's really attractive looking. Nice, you know, it's you know, got a nice feel to it. Then you have this pocket in here that's an open pocket, and it goes all the way down. And then you have this one little this shorter pocket that's right in the front, and there, you know, it goes, you know, to the bottom. And all of them zip up. Beautiful gold zippers, but they don't look all that, you know, sturdy and like they're gonna hang on if you know, use it a whole lot. But this was very inexpensive, and forgive me because I don't remember what I paid for it and all that. I just kind of started doing things, and there it is. But it was inexpensive. Probably, maybe it was one of those clearance things or something. It was under $10. But it's nice for the price. If the zippers hold up, it's a deal. So anyway, let me get out of this. Gotta get over my cap, earrings, and oh God, how did I get myself into this mess? Okay, there we go. So here we go. So really nice. Really, 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 really nice. Okay, there we go. Now, there's a few other things. Now actually what I'm talking, I've got a stand. Let me get the box to this stand that I have my phone on. When I try to do things on this counter, and that you have to see down and see me all at the same time, and have the camera to point down, my tripod doesn't point down. Okay, it's very rigid, and so it won't move like that. But this was really inexpensive, you know, under $10. And this is the box that came in, and this is the function of it. And it clips on to, it's a gad, you know, you turn this, and it opens this bottom flap up. You know, it's closed like this, and then it opens that bottom flap up. And you clamp it onto the edge of your counter, you know, wherever you know, are. And then there's like a you know, one of those butterfly hair clamps. That's what the top of that is holding the phone. And it's you have a wire, like we call it a little snake wire, that bends and, you know, shapes and in whatever direction you need it in. And it has a little ball on it. And then there's a, you know, adapter that's on the clamp that it comes together, and then like a bolt that screws on there that's made of plastic. And let's see. That's how that looks. See the clamp? That's the clamp part. Okay, and that would be your phone. I almost sent it back because I thought a part was missing. And then this is the base of it, where that clamps onto your counter. And then this is the rubber wire that, you know, snake neck of it. And it does a real good job. Except it's loose and kind of wiggly. But if you keep it in a kind of an upright position and just adjust the wire part, it'll stay steady. For under $10, it was worth it to me. It just came in the box just like this. Came in a plastic bag. And that was it. That was it. No screws, nothing like that. Everything about it is attached to it except for that clamp. You have to screw that on. But that's it. That's it. And that's what we're talking on right now. Now, let me see if I can pull it down a little bit so that you can kind of see the counter and what I'm talking about with this. Now, I wear a lot of hats, as you can see. And so I wear a lot of hats. I started wearing hats when my children were playing sports, and especially tennis, because I was sitting in the sun constantly baking and frying and sweating. And, and I've always been, oops, sorry, it's still wiggling there, semi-sensitive to the light. And so, sunglasses and hats, I got plenty of. Now, this is what this looks like. Okay? There it is. Now, you can get 20 caps on here. You can get 20 caps on here. They just, as you see, fold into one another. All right? And in the back here, these are not as, sturdy as like those front caps, but they're more flimsy, that really mold to your head. But I think I have 18 on here maybe, and I can get, shoot, I might be able, because look, let me pick this up. I've got room right here. I can probably get 5 more caps in there. So we're talking maybe 25 caps that can go and store on here, and that's fantastic. Now this screws to the wall. There's holes like right there and down here, and it came with screws. Let me show you the way it came. Okay, it comes in plastic in a box. Okay, a little packet of instructions and some screws and an anchor. These anchors, they give you these anchors, they cheap. You probably need to get a hardware store anchor. But that's the way it looks without a cap in it. This is how it looks. Okay? And then on this side here, there are other hooks that you can hook even caps on that. So we're talking, I'm sorry, some over here on both sides, except for this back end. It goes up against the wall. And actually, if you really want to, you can get some of those S hooks or whatever. But this will hold, I'll say, 30, maybe 35 caps. Because if you can get 25 in there, for 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37 to 40 caps you can get on one tray. That's really, really good. And I have probably 100 caps. I really do. It's over the years. Because you buy a good cap. For them wearing out, they really kind of don't. But, like I said, these are the instructions to tell you what you need. A drill to, or you can screw it in by hand, but a drill for putting it on the wall. And then they show you how, I don't know if you can kind of see that, caps on it, hanging off of it. I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's great. It's a good way to store and not take up a lot of room. And it's all in one place. You can see all of them. And just a great deal. A great deal. What did this cost? I don't remember. I'm going to say, just to throw out something, maybe $15. 20 tops. I don't even think it was that much. And so then, before that, this was something I got on, I think, the haul, the Amazon haul. And this is for caps as well. You just take it and buy the loop of the cap in the back, the adjuster in the back, to hang it on here. Loop it on there, and you can get several caps, on there. Not nearly as many as you can in this. Or it is good for belts. You can put bras on it. You just use your imagination and go for it. You probably even hang your tennis shoes, on here if you lace them together and tie them in a bowl, whatever, lace them together, and then slip it on here, and you can get what 3-4 pair of tennis on here, and have them hanging instead of on the floor or wherever it is that you put your shoes. Just a good organizer. It's a great organizer. And you can probably do the same thing with this, with putting tennis shoes, or would be a really good way to put your sandals that they can have heels on them, but the ones that don't have heels, your flat ones, and put them in there. I didn't think about all of this detail when I started this, but to bring some sandals in here to show you. But you can stack them in here and get a lot of them in here. If you have a lot of your little flat sandals that you wear. And so there you are. That's great storage. It comes in this box from Amazon. This is the Q&R code for that. I don't think there's anything personal about me on that. But hopefully not. But this is what it comes in. And so if you have 2 racks, and if you have as many hats as I do, or, you want to, get one for the kids, the husband, some of the other family. If you can get, what did I say, 30, 35 on this one, then, we're talking 70 caps. And no problem storage. And those baskets just slip right inside of one another. And they both came in this box. So I wanted to share that because it is an excellent organized tool to have in your possession to do organizing. And I need a lot of organizing. I've got to get my closets done. And it's just, and I have a lot just from years, of having things. So anyway, I'm going to move these 2 or 3 aside. I already talked to you about the whatever. Now, I have a pond. And I also have a bird feeder, but I didn't buy it for that. But the pond, I had it, the electric cord was not running underground. It kept getting cut. And then we're having to go in the pond with all the frogs and snake threats and what have you to deal with different things. And so I said, well, and a large one of these that would go in a pond, we're talking a couple $3,000. No, not now. And so it comes with some instructions. Really small. This is a solar fountain. And where's the... and actually, to tell you the truth, now that I have this out, I didn't think of it at the time because I have one that's out in the pond now. And even though it wasn't really large and wasn't going to do a big, like my other one, my electric pump did, it would keep the water moving. That would kind of keep the mosquitoes out. And I just realized these little straws, because I went out there the other day and it was turned upside down. And I thought, what is wrong with this thing? And so now, and I was thinking, okay, Lord, how can I rig this where, it'll work? And now I know this keeps it balanced in the water. Okay, and it won't flip over because especially when it's windy and, the water is tossing it all around. So, and you don't have to, it comes already amped, charged. I walked outside and as soon as it hits a little light, you feel the motor, going. You don't hear it, you feel it. And so, these are the parts. It comes in a little plastic bag like this. And these are the little additional parts that go with it. I mean, it's really, really simple. And, okay, come on now. I think the other one, someone had it and decided they didn't want it or something because it was already put together. And so, let's see now before I do this. Okay, Now, okay, took this little part here. It's in there. The instructions will show you all of it. And then the little stem, you put them together. Okay, it just goes inside of there. Do it in there nice and tight, especially if you're gonna try to put it in a pond or something. It's really for a bird feeder. It's so small, but you can use it for whatever works for you. And then this stem right here, this is the solar part. Just take the opposite end, pop it on there nice and tight. And then all of these, you got several different ways, to make the water come out. And I'm going to put one on for you to see it, to demonstrate it. Trying to get to it. Okay, the one I'm going to use. Okay, okay. And this is kind of you. And how I got that on was that part that I put on there, and this little disc with the holes in it that the water pumps out. You just pop it on. You just put it on, and then turn it, and then turn it, and it's on tight. It's on snug. Okay. And so then, now we're not outside, so this is not giving me any motor work because we're not outside in the windows. It's not sunny today, but you just sit in the water. I have a bowl of water here that I was wanting to demonstrate with, but it is not turning on, and so it's not going to give you your little sprouts out. But if it was, I'm going to show you how it's floating. See how it's floating? It's in a glass bowl. And it just sprouts right up out of there. Okay? Okay, like I said, this thing, you have to have the wire part of it because it's not tight. That's the only thing I don't like about it, and I don't see a way to make it any tighter. It's just not. You have to adjust it by the other thing. So, sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So, that's the fountain. That's the little mini solar fountain. And like I said, if I was outside in the sun, or just, it's cloudy today, but even in the clouds, you can feel it kick on. So there we are. Comes in a box like this. And even the instructions and everything are on the back. So they give you plenty to go on. Works excellent. I've seen it online, YouTube and the other social medias in the bird baths, and the birds love it, and works really well. So let me move this out of the way, and I got a little water mess going on here just a bit. Sorry I'm out of the frame, but I'm trying to get the water out of the way and get my counter cleaned off, dried up. Okay, so we did the fountain, we got that. Now this is just a thermometer. It is an aquarium thermometer. Now, I got this because I purchased this because I got some, what do they call them? Lotus seeds from one of the local parks. And the tube, you really need tubers if you really want to make this work quickly. But, Lord have mercy. So the young lady, she was so nice. The other guy, he wouldn't do it for me, but she let me, grab the pod for the seeds. And I tried to germinate them, but they won't germinate unless they're in particular conditions. And the water needs to be warm and in a certain, at a certain temperature. So they've just been sitting in the water and they're not germinating. But I want those particular, not just the lily pad types. These things are bigger than me. I'm 5'4", and a little less, about 5'3" and 3/4 or so, or a half. And so they stand taller than myself, and huge blooms like this, gorgeous. So I'm gonna get them one way or the other. Aquatic plants are a little expensive, and I was just trying to avoid it because they got more than they need in the park. But I didn't want to just take them. And so this is the thermometer. I have never used one before. It's been years, I should say, when we had an aquarium. And so it's glass. I think it's glass. Well, it sounds plastic. Nope, I think it's glass. Or it's a very, very hard plastic. And so it's electric. And you drop it down into the container that you are trying to germinate those seeds. And I did everything they said. I went on YouTube, I looked on there, got the seeds, I scraped them and sanded them off and tried to get them started. They're not doing anything. And so I think just the temperature of the water is not proper. And so I just got it the other day. Everything's a little slower now that we're in all of this turf war and all this with the mailing and what have you. So and it was real reasonable. It wasn't bad at all. I remember what it was. I think it was under $10 as well, or $10 or $12. Then this is a weed cutter. Now they had one more expensive, and I thought, do I really need this? But yeah, I have a driveway that's a long driveway, a lot of concrete, and weeds really want to try and keep coming, through. I'll go through and pull it with my hand, or pour some vinegar or something on them. I try not to use a lot of weed killers and chemicals and things, because you never know what you want to grow and where. And so I try to keep it at a minimum. And so this was by a different company, and it was really reasonable. $7 maybe. It might not have been that much. It was at least that. I'll say that. And so this is it. And I'm not outside to demonstrate it. But this blade or whatever is sharp. And just say there's weeds growing, between here and another concrete block. And you scrape and pull it out, and it's supposed to come right out. So I haven't used it. I'm just showing it to you if you're interested. To get one, it is sharp, so be careful. But it just hooks into the concrete and pulls it out. So I'm trying to see if there's any and you can go on YouTube and see it. I think that's where I saw the demonstration of. And this was in there, and it is advertising other stuff. I had it in my hand, and it was talking. Yeah, this is just other things that this company is advertising. And it's Work Pro. It's called Work Pro. Okay, comes in that box. Bubble wrap. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Done. And so that's pretty much it for today as far as the items. And I haven't yet made those biscuits. I got and one lady someone was so sweet, and she said I didn't know you could shred butter, grape butter, but I'm gonna try it. So that really encouraged me that I was able to bring something of help and new to someone else. So please comment. Let me know what you think about what I'm, what I've done. What you saw. If it was something that you would like to purchase, and if it like bing light bulb came on and said, hey, I could use that, or whatever I'm speaking about the Lord or what have you, that it encouraged you. I really want to hear about that. Like I said, there's no racism or prejudice here. I will talk about you. Yes. I will talk about my race, me, and you know what. But it's all about corrective criticism, pulling us out of this. I could call it a funk, but it's really a spell, because there are being spells spewed throughout the country, throughout the world, on people to get people to do what they want done. And so, we have to shake it up a little bit, we really do need to be gentler about how we do things. There was Autism Month, and this one two families that I have connected with. And this one family, the young lady was saying, the mom was saying, the people were saying terrible things. Terrible things. I couldn't believe that someone would speak that way about challenged people that are, we all dealing with something, but when you have severe challenges like that really, throw a monkey wrench in your everyday normal life as everyone else is, functioning, then, where's our compassion? It was just, and so please, let's be kind. Let's show grace and mercy as God does. These are there are children that are being abused and beaten and choked and all kinds of things even in school and in daycare places. And I can't even fathom that happening. Or just let's say, I guess I can, but it hurts your heart. I'm trying to think of what the word that he just read. Oh, okay. Hurts your heart to hear, it's bad. It's bad. And first of all, I say to parents of these children, stop sending. I know you need the break. I know you want them to go to school and, be social and learn about social. The world is mean, and there are a lot of evil, wicked people in it. And the challenge that you are suffering, and I don't mean that in any negative way whatsoever, but just as a parent, we suffer because it's new to us what we're doing, in most cases. And especially if you get a situation like that. And it's all new on how are you supposed to handle it. Don't expect a teacher at school and the staff and everyone to be responsible for that child and care for them properly, because they're not going to. People are mean to kids that are not having these issues. They're mean to one another. And kids in general can be extremely mean. For one thing, they just blurt out whatever it is that's on their minds, or what they like or don't like, or looks different to them from what they even see within their own home. So, I know it's hard, but there are support groups out and places that, but do not send those kids out there in an ordinary school. They beat kids up and scar them for the rest of their lives. They're already dealing with, and they can be so loving, and then somebody comes along and just snatches all of that innocence and love and everything out of their little minds and hearts, and hurt them so, badly. You're hurt. Then some parents want to go and beat up the other. Don't. I can remember being at a private school, and this family sent their son. It was more than one, but this particular one I remember. And I wasn't used to it, but I was taught by my parents and family how to treat people. And you don't laugh at people that are, like this. Even if it looks strange to you and you're not comfortable, get over it and be kind. And so I was always that way. People just say things and make jokes, and you find yourself busting out laughing because something happens really fast. And then I have to get myself back together because that's not funny. And this person is standing here and you're thinking that they don't know or understand or have feelings, and they do. And, teach your children to be kind to others. Someone that is dealing with, stand up for that child. If you don't want to fight anyone or anything like that, but be their friend. Eat lunch with them sometimes. And I know sometimes once you connect, they want that all the time. And so it's a situation. But God will bless you. He will bless you. These people trying to connect, with your peers that are the cool ones or whatever the term, they'll turn on you. So teach your children to not allow anyone to stop them from being kind to someone else. I saw this one family that I follow, and the young man, he was at the high school with his sister or his big brother. And, he's, not as coordinated as everybody else, but a handsome fella, and he was trying to fit in there in the group that was bouncing around, dancing or whatever. And he was just kind of back there. And the mom was kind of narrating, I want to go out there and, caress my son or whatever and make him feel. But she was trying to let him, learn how to deal with whatever. And the sister, oh my God. I mean, their mother is doing such a marvelous job. And I think that siblings that have a sibling that is dealing with these challenges, different ones, the patience that they have to learn to, now you can't forget about the other kids, you got to give them all the love and attention and everything too. But that they learn to care for people and be kind, and look out for those that can't look out for themselves. And the sister, she's, cute little thing, they all handsome people. And she turned around and saw her brother back there, and he was kind of like standing a little distance away trying to fit in, And she went over there, kind of grabbed him and brought him over there too, And the tears, it was just so sweet. And so we've got to, I always, watch my time, I'm over. But I always thank God that I was raised around elderly people. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-aunt, my mother's oldest sister, and everybody was older than me because I was the baby in the whole house. But, oh my goodness, I cherish it because it made me a better person, made me a person of character, and to care about the elderly, to care about how people are treated and cared for, and not to laugh at people and not to, just be mean for the sake of being mean because they're different from you. And we have got to stop this. We have got to stop this because, come on now, in our country, and around the world, you see somebody black and you want to treat them bad because of the color of their skin. They don't have any diseases or anything. Nothing that you can catch or, what kind of mess have we allowed to go from generation to generation? And they're trying to start this stuff up all over again. And that's why I have the channel called No More Jim Crow. We're not going back. The Lord had me to do this. It's because he doesn't like it and he doesn't want it. He's not pleased with it at all. And I know people say, black people, they precious. They say that, you know what? It's a retaliation back. It is a defense back. Because basically, it is no more because it was abused terribly was we were enslaved, taught to respect and give grace to whites. And so now that we want to say absolutely not, you're not going to call me the N-word. You're not going to, whatever. You're not going to push me around or do whatever, say whatever you want. Then, people want to come back with, but you all do this and that. It's all about a defense, standing for or against the abuse that has been happening to us. And when you start standing up, then they want to call it something else. But I thank God for the people that are not black people, whatever shade you are. We're just talking about shades of color because humans are humans, period. All of them stem from black people. But that understand and know how wrong all this racism and mess is, and refuse to allow it in their presence, and that are not cowards, and they'll stand up and say, "Hey, no, I don't want, even with your white friends and people that I don't want to have nothing to do with this. I think I'm gonna have to leave. Come on, honey, let's go." Now, people are afraid to do that because they think, well, our white friends won't want to have anything to do with us. There was a reel on about on someone's page about this man. I forget what his name was. It was a white man back in the Jim Crow when they didn't want to let us move in nice neighborhoods or any neighborhoods they were in, and he bought the house for these people, this beautiful black family, and they sentenced him to 15 years in jail. White people, his own people, sentenced him to 15 years in jail for helping a black family move in a white neighborhood. Can you? That's how evil white supremacy is, and any racism. But white supremacy is really the top dog of it all. The most evil of all is the satanic, headship of evil, because everything happens under it. The love of money, the murders of people, the grapes of people, the everything, theft, you name it, it's been done under the satanic possession in people of racism against black people. How do you set up a human being in a zoo? I'm gonna cut this off, because it makes you angry and hurtful all at the same time. It's unimaginable. But this was not supposed to be about that today. So anyway, but I always have to give the love of Jesus. We got to live under the love of Jesus, and we will have a much better world. Your environment will be a better environment if we just learn to stop getting angry in our emotions and fighting about everything. People clocking people, knocking people out, throwing chairs, pulling hair, all kinds of craziness, invading other people's space and, calling people names and all of that. And hey, be kind. Be kind. Hold the door open. Whether they say thank you or not, hold it anyway. It don't even matter. Because see, your blessing comes out of heaven. Don't worry about what they're not doing. And just know you did something that God was pleased with. And you can move on and still be happy. You don't think on it anymore. When I say that, I think about Roots, when Chicken George brought his family out, and the Olivia, I can't think of her last name, but she had her little part to say about that, looking back at everything she said, whatever she did say, and then she said, I'm not going to think on it. again, so they ain't gonna look back again, last look, and I ain't gonna think on it again, so it was just be kind, and let's think on things that are lovely, that are pure, that are just, that are righteous and holy, and a good report. Think on these things, the word says, paraphrased. So I hope this helped. And give me some comment, something that you liked or what have you, that you saw that could be some help to you. And see you next time. I love you. Jesus loves you far more. He gave his life for you. Give your life to him. If you haven't, you won't regret that. See you next time. Bye-bye.